Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Bhavin, and if you're new here, I'm a graduate of UBC Science and will be pursuing a master's very soon. And today I want to talk about how I was able to work two jobs while taking like my full course load during university in my time in undergrad. So the jobs being working as a tutor, and that's like my own thing, as well as working as a life enrichment assistant at an elderly care home. And I'll be talking about lots of time management tips, productivity tips, and just planning and stuff like that. So if all of that sounds interesting to you, I think you'll enjoy this video. The reason I was working those two jobs was because, one, I really enjoy tutoring and helping students do well in their classes and get into like their ideal universities, and because I was able to excel in like my studies myself during high school and undergrad. A lot of people have found it very valuable to be working with me to help improve their grades and stuff like that. And the second job as a life enrichment assistant, what this entailed is basically planning, leading, and doing activities with seniors and working on ways to improve their emotional, physical, mental health, and well-being. So some of the activities I normally lead are things like stretch class and exercise classes, stuff like indoor tennis, bingo, all that sort of stuff to keep residents entertained. So the way I was able to kind of work these two jobs while still doing well in school really came down to time management. So the number one piece of advice I would have is for everybody to take out a calendar, either on their phone, laptop, or whatever, or even a printed out paper calendar, and write down all the time commitments that you have, like your job or your classes or whatever, that are basically non-negotiable and non-movable, and basically plot those at the times that they run and where they are. And calendar that I had for one of my weeks during the school year, I'd basically include my classes, times for the gym. I'd normally have one more like 3-hour class on the Fridays, but it was canceled that week. And yeah, I normally work like twice a week at the seniors home and did a sample of what my tutoring would normally look like. And then the rest of the time would just be default spent studying. So either doing flashcards, reviewing with friends, reviewing lectures, learning objectives, practice questions, all that fun stuff. The rest of the time that you will have, I want you to basically outline your sleep schedule as well. So it's important to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single day. That's also basically non-negotiable, as well as add at least like 5 hours or so of exercise or going to the gym or just physical well-being, because it will be very hard to do well if you don't physically feel well. And then the rest of the time that you have, you can start scheduling like your study time, any other clubs, or any jobs or whatever you want to do, and basically plan everything out on that calendar so that you don't have to waste time thinking about what you need to do on any given day. And personally, this works very well for me and staying on track of everything, and I think it will help you as well. And then now, the next thing I want you to do is whenever you sit down to study, make a to-do list of the things that you want to do, how long it will take, and how much time you think you will need to devote to this, as well as very clear things that you need to do for that task. So let's say your goal is to get an A in physics or in chemistry or math or whatever. So you can write down as a to-do list task, I'm going to do, like, let's say 1 hour of practice questions every single day for a week or 2 weeks or however long. And that is actionable, and you know exactly what you need to do. And then you can split that up even more in your to-do list by talking about like, okay, I'm going to do section from kinematics or dynamics or whatever this day. And planning like that will help you a lot in staying organized. And while you're doing those tasks, be sure to use the Pomodoro technique where you're working for 25 minutes, taking a 5-minute break, or working for 50 minutes and taking a 10-minute break to make the time feel faster and to have something to look forward to. And while you're working, make sure you minimize those distractions by keeping your phone far away and all that fun stuff. So that's some study tips and stuff you can use. And then as for me, with the jobs that I did have, tutoring required me to basically be at home. So it's great in the fact that I don't have to spend time commuting. My school is about an hour and 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes from where I live, so that would take some time. But during the commute, I would actually be just studying for the classes by doing flashcards, previewing lecture slides, or looking at learning objectives, and all that sort of stuff. As well as on my lunch breaks or whenever I'd have time, the seniors home, I'm also just studying flashcards or whatever. Because remember, active learning is the way to learn, and that just means using flashcards, practice questions, anything that's getting you to retrieve information and to test yourself. Because that is the only way in which you'll actually learn information and remember it for the long term. I also want to point out that your grades are actually really hard to fix or go back and change once they're kind of on your transcript, especially if you care about getting into another program. But your extracurriculars and stuff like that, you can always go back and change or take 1 year to go and do lots of different things. So as a result, I always recommend prioritizing getting your grades up first, as opposed to trying to do a bunch of different extracurriculars and stuff, and then sacrificing your grades. And for like the programs I was applying to, it's kind of needed to have practical experience and lots of extracurriculars. So that is kind of why I had to do this. But in the first year of my undergrad, I did not spend much time doing extracurriculars because I was still learning how to properly study and to properly like use my time, basically. But yeah, if you use the correct time management techniques and the correct study methods, I think it's definitely doable once you've become accustomed to doing well in your courses and studying properly. I also want to point out some of the other things that I was basically not doing well in undergrad would be to basically spend time doing things like watching TV or doing things that wouldn't really add value to my life, and filling that time with either reviewing with my friends or doing other things that would benefit me, like let's say tutoring or taking another shift or whatever. And on average, I would say I probably worked about 25 hours a week, so nothing crazy. And I hope that all those tips and information is somewhat helpful and valuable for you in planning out your own study strategies and schedules. And yeah, best wishes to everybody. If you found this helpful, please leave a like, comment some of your favorite study strategies, and subscribe or follow for more.